So, big drum roll, big drum roll. This day, this is a day to remember because it is requiring us to navigate through three square energies, which we haven't had squares. Like in May, we didn't have a lot. I think we had just one square and no oppositions in May. Okay. So now you are in June, and in the beginning, in one day, 1, 2, 3 squares. Yes, that is a tight energy. And so, as you'll see in the messages, it's really about keep your mouth shut and be still. Because also on this day, we have something that astrologers have been dreaming about for a while. So here we go. Here we go with Monday, June the 9th. Now, as an opening, which is also supportive, we get Pallas entering into Aquarius. Now, Pallas asteroid, named for the Greek warrior goddess Pallas Athena, inspires all women to channel their life-giving Venus energy through their intellect as well as their bodies. During her transit through Aquarius, this is an excellent opportunity to experiment with information from the future while making plans that break with tradition and create a whole new game with you as the winning competitor. And this was from Nadia Gilchrist, astrologer. So this is the background. What's happening is that Pallas is going retrograde in Aquarius. And so in astrology, Pallas, named after the Greek goddess Pallas Athena, represents our independent spirit. This asteroid influences how we use our knowledge, whether for positive or negative purposes, and encourages artistic expression and freedom. Over the next several weeks, focus on the greater good as Pallas encourages us to harness emotional intelligence and maintain our personal power. Avoid getting swept away by your emotions and stay attuned to the needs of others. Always, always good advice there. Absolutely. I think I have to take some water. My voice is getting dry. This energy is so powerful because now let's go through the squares. The first one, Mercury in Cancer and Saturn in Aries. It's a big day for misunderstandings, as blunt and thoughtless words can easily hurt feelings. Be careful with what you say. You might dig yourself a hole that's hard to get out of. And again, this is encouraging us not to be in reaction, not to take the low road of the lower timeline. Stay in that higher timeline. Absolutely. Next, we get Venus in Taurus squaring Pluto in Aquarius, where it's retrograde right now. It's easy to butt heads today, as this stubborn aspect can lead to power struggles in our relationships. Recognize when it's time to leave toxic relationships behind and when it's worth staying to work things out. But you really have to discern, folks. You really have to know the difference. And I'm telling you, the only way you really can know that is you got to go to God. Like, God, is this really in alignment with my higher purpose? Am I supposed to stay because you have some learning for me to get, or do I need to get out ASAP? So remember that. Turn to God. Turn to God. Use this day for that, to learn what is right for you. And then the third square is Mercury in Cancer squaring Neptune in Aries. Today is not ideal for business deals, as information can easily become distorted during this confusing aspect. It's also a challenging time for deep discussions with family or friends, which could lead to sticky situations. Try to postpone any social plans until next week. The squares, and that the fact that there's 3 of them with these planets that, are our personal planets, that involve our personal planets, it's really, really, really important to heed this, okay? Do not be in reaction tomorrow, especially with family members or intimate partners. Like, this is not the time to go into battle or to think you're going to just have a conversation. Leave alone, because there's more energy that's going to come in that's going to be a support to you if you're needing to, straighten something out, be heard, set your boundary, all of that. There's an energy coming in on this day that will support you to do that. But Monday's not the day to do it. Give yourself a moment. It's like the universe, right, is operating on a time frame that is not human. Okay. So even when we think it may be time for something to happen, it may not be right, because the universe knows best. So these messages are coming from the cosmos to tell you, take a chill pill. Just hold it up. Say no, or this is not going to work for me today. It's okay. It's okay. Avoid it. Avoid confrontation. You will be so grateful that you did. And now here is the energy that is going to come and be of great help to all of us. This is Jupiter entering Cancer. Oh! And Jupiter stays in a sign for about a year. And so we'll have it until June of 2026. The rest of the year brings the potential for spiritual enlightenment as the planet of luck and understanding moves into this caring and intuitive water sign. This transit encourages us to dive deep into our feelings, as trusting our instincts can lead to great success. Yes, this is about us not playing victim or taking on somebody's stuff, taking on somebody's pain. This is about focus on yourself. Focus on yourself, because this energy, this expansive energy is coming in to help you grow both your emotional intelligence and your spiritual intelligence. Yeah. So here's some more. What does Jupiter in Cancer mean? Jupiter's transit through Cancer offers you a year of healing, nurturing, and emotional expansion. By prioritizing self-care, cultivating meaningful relationships, and aligning with your inner truth, you can create a foundation of security and abundance that supports long-term growth. This is a time to embrace compassion, connect deeply, and expand your heart and soul. Jupiter is a planet of expansion, abundance, and wisdom. Cancer, ruled by the moon, governs home, family, and intuition. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, meaning its energy is particularly strong and positive in this sign. It encourages us to align our emotional well-being with our goals, blending empathy and ambition. I love that, empathy and ambition. During this transit, we are invited to grow not only materially, but also spiritually through connection, compassion, and care. Wow, wow, wow. So here are some of the challenges of Jupiter in Cancer. While this transit is generally positive, Jupiter's expansion energy in Cancer can sometimes lead to overextending ourselves emotionally or financially. Be mindful of setting healthy boundaries and balancing your desire to nurture others with your own self-care. There may be also a tendency to cling to the past or become overly attached to comfort zones. Yeah. Although Jupiter in Cancer is a welcome shift for all of us, the not so good news is that as soon as it enters Cancer, Jupiter forms a square to Saturn, and shortly after with Neptune, which both recently moved into Aries. These squares can bring some growing pains, especially around balancing structure, which Saturn represents, dreams, which Neptune represents, and expansion, which is Jupiter. But this initial tension sets the stage for deeper growth. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And I want to share with you now what Astrobutterfly says to bring it all home, as she most aptly does and eloquently does. And I just love, love, love this. So here we go. What Jupiter in Cancer teaches. Jupiter in Cancer reminds us of the benevolence of the universe, that the world is actually a good and safe place to be in. Something along the lines of Matthew's quote, whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. This idea implies two important things. One, we all have. We are not starting from nothing. Jupiter in Cancer reminds us of the talents and resources we already hold, internal or external. Two, what we have can be further expanded. Jupiter in Cancer emphasizes that real growth starts from what already exists. We can't amplify what we don't have, but when we focus on what we do have, even if small, it can grow into something much greater. And this is her from her blog on her website, and I invite you to read the entire message. And I've got one more part of it. What Jupiter in Cancer teaches. Jupiter in Cancer teaches us that recognizing, being grateful for, and capitalizing on our own resources is the key to unlocking greater abundance. And I want to stop here for a minute because I have another seeker I work with, and she wanted to increase her abundance, but she was thinking she had to attach herself to something outside of herself, some external method or a process in order for that to happen. And what I have been guiding her to is to realize that your abundance is based on what you're believing about yourself. There's no magic pill, there's no magic remedy. This is really about getting rid of what's blocking you to believe in your worthiness, in your ability to believe that you are enough and you can have what you need to sustain yourself and be fulfilled. But if you are not able to believe that, of course, you're not going to experience it. So what she's saying here is, again, being grateful for and capitalizing on our own resources is the key to unlocking greater abundance. Regardless of your natal Jupiter sign, in the year ahead, we will be under the influence of Jupiter in Cancer's mantra, which says, nurture what matters and it will multiply. I'll say that again. Nurture what matters and it will multiply. Wow, such wisdom, such truth. This is it, folks. This is it. And we have a whole year to be supported in this. Again, this message is from Astrobutterfly, and I strongly encourage you to read the entire message on her website, www.astrobutterfly.com. Go to the blog, and it'll be the most recent one that you'll see, where she's talking about Jupiter in Cancer through June 2026. Wow. I just love this. I just love that we're getting this sign. You know, the world has been really going through a lot of fierce stuff since 2024. I mean, before that, but of course, you know, as things have shifted politically, philosophically, I'll say, there's been a lot of fear, of course, and a lot of things have shifted. There's been a lot of wrongly undoing that has been going on. And so, you know, the universe is about balance, folks, okay? It really is about balance. And it's also about a cycle of death and rebirth, meaning things are always moving, always something's being born, something's dying, and things are expanding, always. This is a cosmic truth. So you can't have all that fear and the universe not give you a balance. And that's what this Jupiter in Cancer and some of the other aspects like Saturn and Neptune and Aries are really about. Yeah. This is a cosmic support that we are being given so that we can navigate our way out of the dark side and back into the light and back into really experiencing and co-creating this. This is the time that we are in. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, there's Magella saying, hey, lovely, sending you so much love. Thank you, my darling. She's amazing. Absolutely amazing human being. And so I just had to really take a moment to emphasize that point for you all. Okay. The universe is about balance, and we are being sent Jupiter in Cancer of all signs to open up our hearts, to expand our spiritual intelligence, and to really help us not lose faith that we're going to have our happy endings. Absolutely. Absolutely.